What is up, y'all? I am Christina and if you're like me, you're probably super hopeful that your local bike park is gonna open this summer. I thought, in the theme of keeping the dream alive, I'm gonna build a dream downhill bike, and hopefully I'll be able to get this thing on dirt sooner than later. So before I even start putting parts on my bike, I always ride wrap first. It's a good idea to just protect it as best you can from the get-go. And if you, for some reason, don't want to use ride wrap, in the past I have just used this clear 3M tape. And if you're not gonna tape your entire bike, at the very least, I do recommend protecting your chainstay so that you don't have the noise of the chain slap. And if you don't have a nice little feature like my session here, you could use a little bit of old tube and then wrap it around with electrical tape. That's a nice little trick as well. Lots of bikes these days offer some geometry adjustment options. I've chosen to set the session here in the low setting, and hey, if it doesn't work, we can always change it later. Chances are your bike probably arrived from the factory with plenty enough grease and all the bearings and the bolts, but honestly, I trust no one. So I'm still gonna pull out some of the really important moving parts of the bike, give them a quick little grease up, and then you know from here on out, you're ready to go. Now, a lot of times internally routing cables can be quite tricky and very frustrating. However, if you don't install the fork and the bottom bracket yet and you make sure to do the cables first, makes it a lot easier because you've got openings in the frame that you can work the cables around. Now that we're assembling the bike, it's very important to make sure to use a torque wrench for everything, especially the carbon. So here we are, we're going back on the 27.5-inch wheels for the downhill setup. I've been riding a 29er trail bike for a couple of years now. So for that bike, I ride 750 mil bars. For this one, downhill mode, smaller wheels, I'm going back to 760 mil width bars. It's gonna feel really, really nice. To complement that as well, we've got proper downhill tires, nice and burly, super strong, lots of protection. We've got a really grippy compound from Schwalbe. I like the Magic Mary front and rear. It's a really grippy tire, lots of traction. So for the tire pressures, we're gonna run 19 in the front and 20 in the rear, just a tiny bit more than I run on my trail bike. So if you're a bit of a smaller person like I am, I'm only 5'4". I'm on a medium frame here. So to get the most out of my seat tube so that I've got a nice low seat on the downhill bike, but on the other side of that, I don't want to get a bunch of tire buzz. So the way that I measure my seat is I'm actually going to take all the air out of my shock to see how low my seat needs to go in case of an emergency. I'm about 4 mil from the back tire. So for me, that's pretty good. Chances are I'm not going to go buzz any more than that. If you do have that issue, you're gonna wanna bring the seat tube up in the frame a bit. But for me, that looks pretty solid. So I'm gonna air the shock back up. Everybody knows a quiet bike is a fast bike. So little things like cables rattling around can be really distracting out on track. What I like to do, super simple, just grab a little zip tie these little babies together. Not super tight, because you still want them to move side to side, but just enough so that they're not smashing around. If you're super pro, you might even use a little bit of shrink wrap there. It makes it look really, really nice. The reason I don't do that is because it's nice to work on your cables without having to worry about the shrink wrap. And there's also some little bits called little widgets that you can use as well. They look really clean and just a nice little touch on the bike. We've got the brand new Marzocchi Bomber 58 on the bike today. There's no reason not to look at the factory settings and just do as they say. I'm gonna take a few little notes, and then that way if I make some changes along the way, I've got a good baseline to work with.
It's finally time to add my final touches to the bike and sticker it up.
There you have it, folks. That's my dream bike there. I cannot wait to get riding it. So I say we stop talking, get to riding.